guys, my name is Maria and this beautiful boy here is Samson, and welcome to another video.
I like it, I go la 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 la. I like it, I just wah 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 wah. Oh baby, say it and make it a daily pride.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have Samson joining me today as always, and for today's video I am going to be going over 5 of my very favorite thrillers that I have read. At this point I feel like I've read enough thrillers to kind of decide which ones I like the very best and which ones didn't really make the cut. So in today's video, I will be going over 5 thrillers that I absolutely love.
It's gonna be so much fun.
These are the best of the best, my very favorite ones. Books that I probably wish I could read all over again, because the first time you read them, it just really blows your mind. So with that, let's get into the video. Also, these are not all of my favorite thrillers. This is just 5 of them. And I will also be reading the synopsis from Goodreads because I have found out for myself that I am really not good at summarizing books. So we are gonna use that aid to help us out today.
I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Now, the first book, thriller, that I have absolutely loved, and I read this one a very long time ago. It's also a very popular one, but it's popular for a good reason, because it's especially good if you're just getting into thrillers, because it's not the darkest thriller out there, but it definitely has some dark moments in it and some very shocking moments. And that book is Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. Now, I've read this book a very long time ago, but what I remember is that I absolutely loved it. Could not get enough, could not get through the book fast enough, because I just wanted to know, what the ending was going to be and what the big reveal was going to be.
I'm very curious how this is going to turn out.
So the synopsis says, from the author of Truly Madly Guilty and The Husband's Secret comes a novel about the dangerous little lies we tell ourselves just to survive. A murder, a tragic accident, or just parents behaving badly? What's indisputable is that someone is dead. Madeline is a force to be reckoned with. She's funny, biting, and passionate. She remembers everything and forgives no one. Celeste is the kind of beautiful woman who makes the world stop and stare, but she is paying a price for the illusion of perfection. New to town, single mom Jane is so young that another mother mistakes her for a nanny. She comes with a mysterious past and a sadness beyond her ears. These 3 women are at different crossroads, but they will all wind up in the same shocking place. Big Little Lies is a brilliant take on ex-husbands and second wives, mothers and daughters, schoolyard scandal, and the little lies that can turn lethal.
What?
So I think that's a pretty good, quick synopsis of what this book is about. I love this book because I also really enjoyed domestic thrillers, and I think this was one of the books that really started my love for domestic thrillers and also school mom drama, because in this book there's a whole community of moms whose kids all go to the same kindergarten class, and just all the crazy things that happen when you have super rich people behaving badly and a lot of drama and a lot of chaos ensues. And I just really think this book is great for people that are trying to get into thrillers and see if thrillers is for them.
Indeed.
Because it is fast-paced, it's thrilling, it's really just keeps you on the edge of your seat, keeps you interested, at least it did for me. Also, the writing is top-notch. Leanne Moriarty is a great writer, and it definitely shows in this book. And also, the chapters are pretty quick, and it's a great book to check out if you haven't read it yet. Although I know that a lot of people have already, but if it just happened to miss you, I really recommend. And also the TV show that they made from this book is also really good. I don't watch a lot of TV, but back when I did, I binged that show, and it was also really good. But I recommend that you read the book first and then you watch the TV show, because I feel like the book is even better. Although the show is really good too. Obviously, I gave it 5 stars. Highly recommend. If you like domestic thrillers, and also if you're new to thrillers, I think that you will really appreciate this one. So the second book, a thriller that I absolutely loved, was The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, which is also a very popular book, and it's wildly loved, and with good reason. I read this book so long ago, and I still vividly remember what I was doing and how I felt when I got to that twist, because there's a twist in this book that will absolutely blow your mind.
You're welcome.
At least most people that I have heard that have loved this book, they loved the twist. And I don't think many of them saw it coming. I know that I didn't. So the synopsis for this book says, Ellis Berenson's life is seemingly perfect. A famous painter married to an in-demand fashion photographer, she lives in a grand house with big windows overlooking a park in one of London's most desirable areas. One evening, her husband Gabriel returns home late from a fashion shoot, and Alicia shoots him 5 times in the face and then never speaks another word. Alicia's refusal to talk or give any kind of explanation turns a domestic tragedy into something far grander, a mystery that captures the public imagination and casts Alicia in notoriety. The price of her art skyrockets, and she, the silent patient, is hidden away from the tabloids and spotlight at the Grove, a secure forensic unit in North London. Theo Faber is a criminal psychotherapist who has waited a long time for the opportunity to work with Alicia. His determination to get her to talk and unravel the mystery of why she shot her husband takes him down a twisting path into his own motivations, a search for the truth that threatens to consume him. The Silent Patient is a shocking psychological thriller of a woman's act of violence against her husband and of the therapist obsessed with uncovering her motive. So yeah, this was a psychological thriller, which are actually my favorite kinds.
I'm a little bit psychotic.
I love psychological thrillers because I went to school for psychology, and that's just fascinating to me. And this book is truly special because there is a unique twist in this that has never been done before, and I don't think that it's been done ever since as well as this book did it and this author did it. And this book really made me love this author. I read the second book that he wrote, The Maidens, and even though that book definitely did not make it into my favorites of all time, I still really enjoyed it, and I will definitely be picking up more from this author as well. And I remember I really liked the writing, and the characters were very fleshed out. Like, you felt like they could be real people in your real life.
Wow, that's crazy.
And overall, this book is just top notch. And again, I feel like this one is good for beginner thriller readers, for advanced thriller readers, and even though it's popular, if you have not read it and you are thinking if maybe or not you want to pick it up, I really suggest you do, because I do not think you will be disappointed. And obviously gave it 5 stars, absolutely loved it, highly recommend. So moving on, the third book that I have to talk about today is The Last Mrs. Parrish, which I think I might have mentioned on this channel, but I didn't really talk about it because I read the first one so long ago, and I didn't even know at the time that there was going to be a second one. So I'm definitely going to read the second one.
ASAP.
But the one that I loved was the first one. Absolutely. It was just amazing. Another domestic thriller that I absolutely loved and that made me fall in love with domestic thrillers. So this is by Liv Constantine, and the book description says, a mesmerizing debut about a coolly manipulative woman and a wealthy golden couple. From a stunning new voice in psychological suspense. Amber Peterson is fed up. She's tired of being a nobody, a plain, invisible woman who blends into the background. She deserves more. A life of money and power like the one blonde-haired, blue-eyed goddess Daphne Parrish takes for granted. To everyone in the exclusive town of Bishop's Harbor, Connecticut, Daphne, a socialite and philanthropist, and her real estate mogul husband, Jackson, are a couple straight out of a fairy tale.
It's too good to be true.
Amber's envy could eat her alive if she didn't have a plan. Amber uses Daphne's compassion and caring to insinuate herself into the family's life, the first step in a meticulous scheme to undermine her. Before long, Amber is Daphne's closest confidant, traveling to Europe with the Parrishes and their lovely young daughters, and growing closer to Jackson. But a skeleton from her past may undermine everything that Amber has worked towards, and if it is discovered, her well-laid plan may fall to pieces, with shocking turns and dark secrets that will keep you guessing until the very end. The Last Mrs. Parrish is a fresh, juicy, and utterly addictive thriller from a diabolically imaginative talent. So, this book, another great one, another oldie, but a goodie.
See for yourself.
Because these books are kind of on the older side. They're not new releases, but they are tried and true, amazing thrillers that I feel like all thriller lovers should read at least once in their life, because they're just really special and really breathtaking. So again, this is a book that has a huge twist that you don't see coming. At least I didn't. I think that I probably am having a hard time finding favorite thrillers of all time recently, because I read books with so many twists and turns at this point that it takes a lot to kind of blow my mind. And this book definitely did that. So if you're looking for a really twisty domestic thriller book with just a really big twist,
I highly recommend checking it out.
and not just one, there's more twists and turns, but there's one really big one. I'd say check this one out, because the writing is a little more simpler. It's not as simple as Frida McFadden's writing, but it's definitely not as beautiful, in my opinion, as like Alex Michaelides' writing. I still feel that this book is just fast-paced, to the point. The chapters go by quick. The whole book goes by quick. The characters are intriguing. The whole setup plot of this book is just great. It's really amazing. And again, highly recommend. I obviously recommend all of these books, but definitely check this one out. And once I read the second book, I'll also give you guys my review on that. But the first one, highly recommend, 5 stars, hands down.
Chef's kiss.
Okay, further on, the fourth book that I want to recommend of a thriller that I absolutely loved is What Lies Between Us by John Mars. Again, read this book so long ago, really was one of the books that made me love thrillers and completely blew my mind. But this book, I think, is another psychological thriller, and as I've said, those are my absolute favorites. But this book says, they say every house has its secrets, and the house that Maggie and Nina have shared for so long is no different, except that these secrets are not buried in the past. Every other night, Maggie and Nina have dinner together. When they are finished, Nina helps Maggie back to her room in the attic and into the heavy chain that keeps her there. Because Maggie has done things to Nina that can't ever be forgiven, and now she is paying the price. But there are many things about the past that Nina doesn't know, and Maggie is going to keep it that way, even if it kills her, because in this house, the truth is more dangerous than lies. So, I know that John Mars is a very popular author, and I think his most popular book pretty much is The One, which I also really enjoyed, but it was not a 5-star for me. This one, however, I feel like it's less talked about than The One, but this one is just, I feel like it's on a different playing field. The twists in this one completely are just bonkers, off the rails.
That's nuts. Especially, that's crazy. Okay, all right.
Like on the edge of your seat, jaw on the floor, just completely incredible. And as is pretty much seems to be the theme of this video, this book also has a twist that just kind of pulls the rug out from under you and makes you see everything from a different perspective in a different light, which I have not found a thriller in so long that has done that for me, and this one definitely did. So check this one out, because even though this author has a lot of great books, I'm sure I have not read all of them, I feel like this one is really special and unique. The setup of this whole book is just, it's different.
A first of its kind.
And it's something that I haven't read really before that, and I haven't really found a book that did this since then, or did it this well, this setup. And it's just, as you read the book, you're peeling back layers and layers to find out what is actually going on, because it will surprise you. You might think you know what's going on, but I can guarantee you, you really don't. And also the ending of this book completely blew my socks off. I was not expecting it. I thought that we already got all the reveals. I didn't think that this book could surprise me anymore and make me love this book even more, but the ending also just completely exhilarating and something that I will remember forever.
Love, love, love.
And I read a lot of books, so I don't remember a bunch of the books that I read. This one, though, I really remember pretty much most of the things that happen in this book, and the ending, of course. So if you want a psychological thriller, something maybe a little more intense, so maybe not for a beginner, but definitely for somebody who's already read quite a few thrillers, I'd say check this one out. Absolutely amazing. Easy 5 stars, hands down. And we are finally at the last book that I want to recommend in this video, the 5th book, and that is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. Again, another very, very, very popular book, but again, for good reason.
Yeah, props.
At least in my opinion. I have read almost every single Riley Sager book at this point, except for one, which I think is only one left, and I'm trying to get that from my library on Libby, so hopefully that comes in soon. But Lock Every Door is my favorite Riley Sager book because, again, it did something that I have never read before in a book when I read this, and I read this a while ago, but I just remember having no idea where this book was going, and it really surprised me. It really, really blew my mind, and I kind of really liked the direction that it went because it was very shocking and yet kind of plausible in a way, so it made me feel like it could happen in real life.
Potentially.
So this synopsis says, no visitors, no nights spent away from the apartment, no disturbing the other residents, all of whom are rich or famous or both. These are the only rules for Jules Larson's new job as an apartment sitter at the Bartholomew, one of Manhattan's most high-profile and mysterious buildings. Recently heartbroken and just plain broke, Jules is taken in by the splendor of her surroundings and accepts the terms, ready to leave her past life behind. As she gets to know the residents and staff of the Bartholomew, Jules finds herself drawn to fellow apartment sitter Ingrid, who comfortingly, disturbingly reminds her of the sister she lost 8 years ago. When Ingrid confides that the Bartholomew is not what it seems and the dark history hidden beneath its gleaming facade is starting to frighten her, Jules brushes it off as a harmless ghost story, until the next day when Ingrid disappears.
This should be interesting.
Searching for the truth about Ingrid's disappearance, Jules digs deeper into the Bartholomew's dark past and into the secrets kept within its walls. Her discovery that Ingrid is not the first apartment sitter to go missing at the Bartholomew pits Jules against the clock as she races to unmask a killer, expose the building's hidden past, and escape the Bartholomew before her temporary status becomes permanent. So this, in my opinion, is the best Riley Sager book because it has the biggest twist. As you can see, it's like I'm just saying the same thing over and over and over again.
Oopsie.
You know, take a drink every time I say twist because I don't think I can stop. This book, though, definitely just huge, mind-blowing. Once you get to it, you're like, whoa, did not see it coming. At least I didn't, and most of the people that have read this book haven't either. So if you want to be blown away by another huge twist, I'd say go for this one. Also, I have read a lot of other Riley Sager books, and I'd say this one has just the biggest single twist that made my jaw drop to the floor. His other books also have twists, but I don't know, none of them really hit like this one did. So if you are wondering where to start with a Riley Sager book, because I know he's a very popular author, and I know a lot of people probably have read this, but if you have not, start with this one.
I mean, you're welcome.
I think, because it's great for somebody that hasn't read a lot of thrillers, and it's also great for somebody that has read a lot of thrillers, because I feel like it did something that I haven't seen a thriller do since. Of course, I haven't read all the thrillers out there, but I don't know, just check this one out because I really do not think that you will be disappointed. Also, Riley Sager's writing is just so easy to get through. It's so catchy. It's quick, but yet it's not too quick. Like, there's still some description and you still get a picture of what is going on in your head. But definitely, I tend to pick up his books when I know that I want a thriller that's going to keep my attention.
Hell yeah.
And that's what he does for me. I'd say it's kind of a popcorn thriller, but it's a little more than that. Popcorn thrillers tend to not really make a dent, kind of not really, you know, make much of a difference to me when I read them and much of an impact on me, but Riley Sager's books definitely do. So if you want to read about a creepy building, you know, with a bunch of rich and famous people who live there, definitely recommend this one. 5 stars, hands down, loved it. And so that's gonna do it for us for today. 5 thriller books that I absolutely loved. Now, they're kind of all different tropes and also different plots and center around different things, but I think all of these books are just amazing in their own way. Highly recommend.
Get on that. Highly recommend.
Have great twists, and especially one just like huge twist that will just blow all the other twists out of the water. But I really think that you should check these books out. And if you have any recommendations for me with books that you think I haven't read yet, which is a lot, I have not read a lot of thrillers, but I'm getting there, please leave it in the comments below. I'm always looking for new thrillers to check out, and I will definitely be checking those out. So please leave those recommendations there. And you know, any other thing that you want to share with me, I would also love to hear about. So, yep, that's my video for today. Samson is over here. Apparently didn't want to be on camera much today, huh, buddy?
I got better stuff to do anyway.
And so I gotta go get my kids off the bus because they're about to come home on this Thanksgiving week. But please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really means the world to me, and it makes me want to continue doing these videos. So with that, I hope you guys have a great day, whatever it is and wherever you are and whatever it is you are doing. So, Samson, say bye. No. Bye, guys. Bye.